Hey guys, what is up? So firstly, I am going to address the obvious elephant in the room, which is the fact that I have a new haircut. Well, it's not that new actually. In fact, if you already follow me on Snapchat, which I encourage you all to do because Snapchat is such fucking fun, I probably have showed you already. So that's the exciting life event going on in my life right now. And also I set up a Patreon page for this channel and I'm looking to raise some money in order to get better filming equipment, a microphone in particular, because I am currently using the built-in microphone on my camera and I am not very pleased with its quality. So yeah, you can check my Patreon out and support me there, or you can just skip this part altogether and that's okay as well, like no pressure my dudes. On to today's video. I got so many comments and requests on my Romanian accent tag, and people really wanted to see me do more videos in Romanian because, as you probably already know or don't know, we have tons and tons of words that don't particularly translate well to the English language. So I am here to make you all regret ever asking me that. You know, call me Food Panda because OP delivers. So anyway, today we are going to discuss some of my very favorite Romanian idioms, and I am going to do a word-for-word translation of them because those are always so awkward. And then I am going to explain what they mean and how to use them, and hopefully this is going to be both entertaining and educational because, you know, the more you know. So anyway, let us begin. Our first idiom or expression or whatever you'd like to call it is dracu să mă pieptene, which would roughly translate to may the devil brush my hair if you were to take it word for word. And well, I imagine that the English translation is something that Satanists would call out during a slumber party. The Romanian version actually is something you say out in frustration. Say you are having a really bad day at work and your boss just keeps piling on assignments and you have like 10 deadlines that you are unable to finish, and at lunch somebody messes up your order and you come home to find that your significant other has been having a 14-person gangbang while you were away. Yeah, normally you would just say something like, oh come on, or fuck me, but in this case you can also say dracu să mă pieptene, which sounds in fact a lot more cultured. Next up we have mă scoți din pepeni, or you remove me from my watermelons. Now this one isn't as abstract as the first one, and it would roughly mean you annoy me greatly, which in a way I think this expression refers to watermelon because watermelon is the type of food that would make absolutely any situation bearable and any human interaction less annoying. I-a sărit muștarul. Now, this one would be a bit difficult to translate word for word, and it would probably be something like their mustard burst, which refers to that moment when you see somebody throw a hissy fit. Say you are at Starbucks and you just witnessed somebody start to cry and scream because they have just been informed that there are no more cake pops. Now that person might or might not be me, but you can say about that person that i-a sărit muștarul. Next up is să faci din rahat beach, or the longer and uncut version, să faci din rahat beach și să și trosnească, which would translate to make a whip out of shit and still expect it to crack. Now, this refers to not having the best resources, in fact, working with literally shit, and being expected to turn in a good result. Now, a good example of that would be how in college you would have those big group projects that you would have to work with a group in order to turn in. So, you know how you would probably invariably, most likely, just end up with the laziest people on campus and still somehow, by the grace of God, get a passing grade? Now, that's a great example of să faci din rahat beach. The following one is probably one of the funniest on the list, at least to me. It's Chiku și cu sufletul în rai, which would probably translate to something like with a dick up your ass and your heart in heaven, which I admit doesn't do any bit of justice to the actual meaning of this saying. And in fact, a lot of languages have this saying with slight variations. You most likely know it as to have your cake and eat it too. But the cake metaphor was completely lost on us. What can I say? We are very poetic and graphic people as Romanians. Next up is rahat cu perje, or as some people use it, rahat cu apă rece. Now, before I try to do a translation, I'd like to preface this by saying that in Romania, the word rahat means both Turkish delight and shit, and I partially blame this on the poor relations we had with the Ottoman Empire in the olden days. But anyway, it would go something like Turkish delight with plums, or Turkish delight with cold water, which is just a very fancy way of saying nothing. Say, if the person gives you rahat cu perje, it means that person gave you nothing, or at least nothing of value. And fun fact, this refers to an old Turkish tradition. Say, in the days when it's really hot and a person invites you over, it is expected of them to serve you Turkish delight, or at least something sweet like jam or sugar, and a glass of cold water so you can beat the heat. Next up is Uncodable, which is going to have one hell of a word-for-word translation, and it would probably go something like up the ass, behind the ear. And no, this is not referring to the world's worst magic trick, but in fact it means nowhere. Say, when you were little and you would lose your toy and you just kept pestering on your mom to help you find it, and you just go 50 times a day to her and say, Mom, where's my whatever? At one point she would just burst and say, it's Uncodable, meaning it's nowhere, it just disappeared. The next one is very similar to the previous one and is Macacan sus. Now, this one is very nuanced, and I'm afraid that the English translation wouldn't do it much justice. The English translation probably goes something like, I am shitting upwards. And if the previous one was the answer to the question, where is it? This one would be what you would use as an answer for the question, what are you doing? say if you have a very annoying coworker or a younger sibling and they just keep pestering you with questions like what are you doing when you are obviously at the computer googling furry porn, you might just answer them macaca sus. Now the next one is something that I have recently found out and just found extremely amusing. And it's ce știe țăranul, ce e șofranul, and this would roughly translate as what does the peasant know about saffron, which if horse ebooks were still around and pretending to be a horse on the internet, it would probably be one of their tweets. But no, this is in fact the Romanian version of you know nothing, Jon Snow. Now this last one is less mainstream than the others, but nevertheless, even though not a lot of people know about it, it's pretty useful in day-to-day conversation. It's să scoți castane din foc cu mâna altuia, and even from the word-by-word translation, you could probably tell what it means. It goes something like, to pull chestnuts out of a fire using somebody else's hand, and it refers to doing good deeds but using other people to do them. Say like you probably had that friend that would sign you up for useless marathons, say to cure honey badgers of astigmatism, or to teach inner city kids how to fight volcanoes and sand pits, stuff like that. That's să scoți castane din foc cu mâna altuia. Now that was all for today, and thankfully for that, because the garbage truck is already on my street and they are making so much noise. And no, if you are wondering, they are not here to pick me up. But anyway, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up or comment or rahat cu apă rece. Anyway, see you next time. Bye bye!